This is Midwest Rugby. It's 2025 Championship 15th day at the Blaze facility in Lamont, Illinois. It is the Chicago Lions versus the St. Louis Bombers for the Division I Men's Championship. I am John Broker, joined by Great American Rugby's Lance Kavanaugh. Lance, we got a great game coming up.
This is everything you asked for. Not only are we talking about interdivisional rivals, but two teams who had a crazy matchup earlier in the year. We'll get to that when it's time.
All right, let's take a look at the forwards here. Garza Howard and the man of steel at number 3 for the forwards. In the forwards, O'Brien and Sokol, second row. Toriumi and Yavac and Dupree in the backs. Demondole, Tregening, Goodwin and Hidalgo in the centers. Wall and Jones in the wings. And Milne at fullback for the Lions. For St. Louis, we have Carradine, Knight, and Devos in the front row. Chalker and Van Heerden in the second row. Albert and Naringo on the flanks. Wesley White at number 8. Backs here for St. Louis, Felton at 9, Smith at 10, Reese and Alberts in the centers. Preston, Hammerschmidt, and Evans on the wings, and Burns at the fullback. Lots of impact players ready to go. As you see the Chicago Lions, they're going to be in gray, running right to left on your screen. From left to right will be the St. Louis Bombers. Lance, this is going to be exciting. These teams are ready to go.
Yeah, and one thing about it, especially championship moments, the Lions are still thinking back to last year where they had a great opportunity to put themselves in the Division I semifinals at Nationals. Unable to get the job done versus the Griffins, but they find themselves back at the same field on hollow ground with a great opportunity to redeem themselves. But they have to do it against seemingly one of the best teams in the nation over the last couple of years, 7s or 15s. And the St. Louis side handling business throughout the year, not taking any L's, and they find themselves looking for a championship in the Midwest.
Jeff Steele wearing number 3, the big tight head prop for the Lions. Now, Lance, you said these teams met earlier in the year, and it was a tight one.
Yeah, St. Louis made the trip down to Chicago and squeaked out a 12-6 matchup. That's a barn burner defensive struggle. Who knows exactly what was the weather like or what was the circumstances to make it such a low-scoring clash. But I expect this day with the wind and everything that's going on that we might end up seeing the same kind of thing. How much will the weather affect this matchup, and how will these teams be able to get off and running against a strong side as their opposite?
High 50s, low 60s here. Brad Cole, the referee. It's going to be St. Louis to kick this one off. We will hope for a more high-scoring game as commentators, so we have some excitement to call, but these teams will want to win no matter how they have to get that done. And our D1 Midwest Championship is underway. Here go the Chicago Lions. First touch of the ball, the man of steel takes it right into contact. Trying to make an issue of this are the Bombers. Lions take that one, lose a little bit of ground, but they are still on the move. Outside the 22, they're going to go back in from behind, off the left boot. They're going to keep this one in the field of play. It's inside the 22. Back on it goes Reese Smith. Reese Smith puts that one into the safety of touch. We'll have our first line out of the game, 40 seconds in. Attacking opportunity for the Lions, Lance.
And how do you set the platform for the rest of your day? You're in the best attacking position that a good team will give you, like St. Louis, one of the better ones. How do you convert this, make the best of it? Do you set up middle attacks so that you can go around the corner later? So many options are available in this early line out. I'm excited.
Ethan Howard to put this one in. Into the middle of the lineout they go, taken down safely. And Mondal puts puts out into Mondal again. Going to come back in the other direction of the Lions. Moving quick here. Lions on the run. Little wraparound pass there. Beautiful. Peyton Wall has it. Peyton Wall takes it into contact inside the 22. Peyton Wall, Major League Rugby's Rookie of the Year, bringing his skills to the Chicago Lions. Great player out of Indiana University. Indiana suffered a bit of a tough loss today. Ball out the back for the Lions. We'll keep you in this game. Willis Goodwin gets a penalty.
11.
See if it's
Dangerous.
high tackle
Dropping.
right there on Preston Hammerschmidt. So first penalty here for the Chicago Lions.
And good on the referee. First high tackle. First opportunity to really establish the standards of the match. Called it early, strong. Let him know no foul play will be allowed on any field that he commands. But early on, Chicago looking confident. Able to go right to left, left to right. These are the moments right here where St. Louis has to get themselves a little bit to look forward to defensively.
We have a 6-player line out here for the Lions. Ball skips up over the top, knocked on into the hands of the Bombers. Bombers are going to not take that advantage and launch that one downfield where Luka Milne hands that ball off, and they are on the move. There's Peyton Wall again with his opposite number there, Rael Jones, coming in to assist. Active winger, keep an eye on Jones, fun player. Played at American International College, the first time I saw him play. Ball held up, turned into a maul by the Bombers. It's going to be a scrum here for the St. Louis Bombers. First scrum of the game now, Lance.
And this is the confidence I was talking about. Able to hold themselves accountable for giving themselves so little ground behind them. But immediately forcing them off, forcing the turnover. And these early scrums, early set pieces, early hit-ups are really meant to show this is what you're going to be dealing with this entire championship match. And I hope you're ready for 80 minutes of it. Let's see which team folds or bends first.
Referee's going to bring this one up. Wanted but safe. We have Richard Felton going to put this one in. One of many Lindenwood alum on this St. Louis Bombers team.
Second.
Big space in here.
Coach! Bind! Ready, boys? Set!
Referee Cole brings them together. That one goes down. Nothing in it, Lance. We're going to have it set up again.
Straight down. Here, come this way, please.
It's so hard to be sure exactly who's at fault
Hey, hookers,
early
look closer
on.
Together. It's too much of a space. Thank you.
But correct some of the smaller issues. Referee indicating space was the issue. Let's see if we can get a better footing.
Your call, Andy. Your call.
And better scrum set.
See if third time is a charm here. That one goes down. We have a penalty against the Bombers. Good work there by Elias Garza. Knee went to the ground for one of the Bombers players.
Knee
It
to the
was
ground.
on Connor Devos.
Post, please.
Looking for post. Tregoning is going to look to take this one. From Neath, Wales. Went to Central Washington University. So we take another look at the knee going to the ground there.
Yeah, you can see it was a clear footing. That right foot of that prop, number 3, unable to hold himself up. And it sucks for a second, especially when you early in this matchup. Confidence is so key. But they'll find a better way around it. Smart for the Lions to go after this 3 penalty, though.
Struck that like it was a bag of mashed potatoes. Didn't quite go the way he wanted it. Just worked its way towards the post. Still have a 22 here for the St. Louis Bombers.
I mean, you have to look at the facts. St. Louis with the penalties,
Feet too far back.
I'm going to put my leg.
able to find themselves with a defensive stand. That maul turned into something great for them, and now they can clear their lines and get some space.
Straight down. Play.
Lions have the ball. Ball went straight down. Referee's happy with it. Nice winding run here. Lions at the 40-meter line of the Bombers. Demendal. Little chip off that left boot. That number 10. Keep an eye on Tregoning. Picking out those spaces right now early. Wall goes in. Slows down the player. Doesn't get the full tackle. But inside their 22 are the Bombers. Forwards waiting. Ball down to Emmanuel Albert. Felton gets the ball where he wants it, shaping for the box kick. Pressure on there from Joey O'Brien. Doesn't find touch. Coming cross field here through Luka Milne. Luka Milne is going to straighten up and get just outside the 22. Well cleaned up, fast ball. Coming to that right-hand side, a little chip through again from Tregoning. He's really putting pressure on the back three here, and you see going into his own try-zone, and out of the back of his own try-zone are the St. Louis Bombers. So well done, Tregoning. Lance, I think this is a very intentional tactical play here from the number 10 at Chicago Lions.
We keep seeing that kick. What does that give signs for? They might have to actually keep those wingers wide and back a little bit before they attach themselves to that defensive line, because the kick was on, and that pressure leads to a 5-meter scrum, which is exactly what you asked for if you're a Chicago side earlier in this matchup. You had opportunities with penalties given to you from scrums. Now you find yourself on the doorstep, possibly with another chance to force a scrum penalty, and that leads to a great match as far as the ref and him having sympathy for your side.
And the Lions drew the scrum penalty in the first set of scrums there. Took 3 tries, but they got it. So we'll see if the pressure is on here again. Kinnivo has the ball there, but the ball comes up into Demendalk's hands. They get it to Willis Goodwin. Willis Goodwin is going to take that one in. He went to John Carroll University. Advantage here as the ball goes to Elias Garza. Garza takes it into contact. They're just about 3 meters out. Ball goes by Steele, out wide. Milne can't quite handle it. Royal Jones is out there, but I think we're going to come back for the advantage. Indeed, we are. Penalty here for the Lions. 8.5 minutes in, Lance. Everything seeming to go the Lions' way at the moment.
Every bit of play seems to be dominated by the Lions. Unfortunately, it's just too early to tell how this will play out later on, but it's yielding good dividends.
Quick ball, Jeff Steele. Steele looking at the line, can't quite get there. Ball coming up, Demendalks. Goes in behind. Nice pass over the top, beautifully spotted. First 5 points, try to the Chicago Lions. A grateful try score right there. 5 points on the board. Kick coming from the corner, but well done after all that pressure. Deserved 5 points for this team from Chicago.
Threats everywhere. Set themselves up for hit-ups, pick and goals to the left side towards the middle of the field, quick hit-ups. Steele get the leg drive so close, and you see multiple backs swing from the left side to the right. They seen the overload, but unfortunately, St. Louis a little bit too late to the party. Wing tried to close the door, but just too many players on the outside, and that's an easy walk-in try. Bow to your sensei, and bow. 5 points for the Chicago Lions.
Jackson Hidalgo gets credited with that one. Kick to come from Tregoning, a left footer, so maybe a little more natural for him over here. Tregoning gets it clean. That's 7 points to the good for the Chicago Lions. Restart will come from St. Louis, and they will want to answer quickly, Lance.
At least, if not on the scoreboard, at least in physicality, imposing themselves on the match a little bit more. But finding themselves backed up and continuously unable to give themselves good opportunities just creeps into as this game goes on. Is the Chicago team too strong? Because those things mentally affect them. Let's see how the game goes.
Ball taken down. Lions still in possession. Nearly a full 10 minutes of possession at this point as they go to the kick pass there. Beautifully done. Will it come down? Unlucky. Just off the fingertips of Wall there. We'll come back and be a scrum for the Bombers, but that tactic almost paid off for them.
And it looked like it should have paid off. The angle that he jumped, he was such in a full sprint that he didn't go so much up but across. And that just didn't give him the opportunity to really fully gather the ball. He even got a foot in there doing everything he can to get the ball. And the pressure from the defense of St. Louis being close, giving him a little angst on trying to get a clean catch. Great bit of play from both sides.
Scrums coming together here. Felton to get us underway. A much-needed bit of offense here for the St. Louis Bombers. Ball at Wesley White's feet, but Felton's going to get it away. They have a little runner coming around. They're looking for that space. Nice flat pass. Can they make it pay through Hammerschmidt? Hammerschmidt, well taken down. Jones trying to get in there and take that, but can't get it. So they've stretched the field. Have their runners. Ball goes up there to Von Heerden and ripped away. Taken by the Lions. They're going to go out the back there, see what kind of space they can get. Not pretty. Chase is fine, though. This is going to pay off. This looks good. It's Peyton Wall. Peyton Wall waiting for some company. Bombers in and over that one. Have stolen it away through Wesley White. Wesley White played for Lindenwood, played a little bit for Bath, prominent club in England. But coming in on an angle against the Bombers, it's going to be Lions penalty.
How many, number 8?
Yeah, that ruck was already established. You have one Lions player holding up 2 guys. And when the ruck was already established, reaching and grabbing for the ball, there's no argument or discussion here. Great bit of play for the Lions. Crossfield kick. That's the 5th one we've seen so far today, JB. 4th one. They're absolutely exposing that option for themselves. And the Lions have a bit of momentum.
Yeah, look, they really want the Bombers' defense there to be of 2 minds all the time, that anything can happen. They haven't really opened up the inside with some of their big runners as of yet. But they have the ball right at the 22. Sokol goes to the front, but they go to the middle, and they're good to go. Maul going. Maul is set. Ethan Howard moves that one across. A little bit of a bouncer for Willis Goodwin. He's just going to take it in and reset as they get their structures together. And off they go in the hands of Tregoning. Tregoning. Tregoning flat on the line here, going to go wide. John Dupree takes that one from Lincoln, California. Played at Central Washington University. So played with the Utah Warriors and the Chicago Hounds Academy. Ball rolls into the hands of Goodwin. Some of the passes here for the Lions just not quite going to hand as they're starting to spread a little bit, but a hole opens up nearly for Tregoning. Tregoning gets there, gets the ball back. Bombers are fine with that. Referee says play on. Andy Naringo, formerly of Principia College. The Thunder Chickens now playing with the St. Louis Bombers. Big runs coming here. Big double tackles. Also, offense and defense both up for the collisions. The ball goes out there into the hands of Smith. Little tip pass there, and the space opens up. Well done. Here come the Bombers. It's Wesley White. Gets taken down by his shoelace. Gets that one away into the hands of Declan Reese. Reese gets it to his 10. Smith. Ball still alive. Big runs coming there. There's Emmanuel Albert. Felton. Have an advantage. Player didn't roll away. Ball in Chalker's hands. Little pass to the outside to White. White gets that one back in. The line is beckoning. The line is there, and over they go. It's Sam Evans. Great play, St. Louis Bombers. Haven't had the ball for as much time, but certainly answered right there with 5 points of their own. Kick to come.
Did you see the behind-the-back magic? Oh, White down the sideline, gets a break. Lions able to stop the try, but when the Bombers get back to it, behind the back, he is doing something different for the championship. He's a different man today. And in goes the Bombers, putting in 5, and they found their opportunity. Been starved for the ball, start of opportunity, but first chance they got. Line break, few phases, taking advantage of the advantage and getting 5 for themselves. But one of the things I know for sure that the kicking for points, for penalties, is going to be the difference in this matchup. We've seen the Chicago Lions hit from the sideline to convert their try. The Bombers need to make every one of their makeable conversions to keep this game good.
Connor Burns looking to convert that one. He has pushed it across the face there. So it's 7-5. The Lions still in the lead. And Lance, I got to tell you, that Wesley White pass fooled me. I had no idea what happened. All of a sudden, it was in the hands of Sam Evans, and he was over the line. What a play!
He did something that you don't really expect from the big guys. If your 8-man is throwing flick passes, behind the back passes, it just ups the skill for the entire side. What an amazing bit of play. But even more so, he had a line break where he was stopped by the last defender. Hammerschmidt earlier had a line break where he was stopped. And those are 2 guys that when they get rolling, they make it happen. Says a lot about the Chicago defense as well.
Are we happy about him? You good? Yep. All good here? Okay.
Ready to start again. The Bombers just backed up from the 10-meter, ready to come onto that ball. Tregoning off of that left boot hangs one high into this Lamont, Illinois Air. Inside the 22, they start again. The try scorer, Sam Evans, gets driven back by an excited Chicago Lions defense. Setting the ball, Felton.
It's available.
Felton shaping for the box kick there. Pressure from Sokol again, so it doesn't get the distance you want. So at the 40-meter line, it's going to be a Chicago Lions line out.
Thank you. I'm in the center. Perfect, thank you.
Player coming in a little late here for this Chicago Lions teams, Kinevo. So they go to the middle, to that man right there. And from Point Hope, Alaska. Blake Knight trying to hold up that runner, but it's coming back here for the Lions. Losing a bit of ground back at their 50-meter line, or at the 50-meter line. Crossfield it comes.
2 roll. Let's take it in.
Driving forward there are the Lions. Players have to release. Took an extra little half-meter, but it worked well. Nice tip pass coming. And here come the Lions across the 40-meter line, gaining ground. Good little forward play. That tip can just open things up. There's Kinevo. Kinevo, University of Utah grad, went to Eagle High School. Another penalty here.
Split up to the neck. Be careful. Penalty only. There's your mark. I'm sorry, what are you doing? Post, please. Yep. Post, please.
Lions going to go for posts here through Tregoning. U18 for the Scarlets in Wales. First shot of the ball, didn't strike it very well. We're looking to rectify that now and put his team to 10.
The kicks are going to play a major part in this matchup. Absolutely. After we seen that earlier conversion and the miss from the returning conversion for St. Louis. 0-1 on penalties, but if we can get these penalties down and made, St. Louis will be in trouble if they're undisciplined.
That one is struck well and true. It's going on to field 2 up there. It is now 10-5. The Lions over the Bombers, just under halfway through this first half. Midwest Rugby Union Division I Championship. Look at the try scorer there.
I'm sorry? No, I was your second row.
Reese Smith to get us restarted here. Bombers. Kinevo works his way forward.
Take it in.
Tregoning standing a little deeper, just with a little chip there. Such a varied set of kicks he can put in. There's the ball down into the hands. Sam Evans. Felton putting his forwards to work here. Manuel Albert.
Thank you.
My top.
Big hits coming in there. That one's on Andy Kudzwa-Naringo. Couple of dummy runners, and out the back they go. Looking for that flat pass to Hammerschmidt, and they get it. Hammerschmidt hasn't been able to turn that into a try, but Brandon Chalker has the ball. Gained enough ground, but penalty against the Bombers. Players coming in illegally.
11 black.
Yeah, just a bit from the side. Body position was good, but I think he just got turned right around him before contact. And the referee is really going to have to be saucy on some of these ruck situations, tackle situations, because both teams are going to contest very hard.
Tregoning launches it long, but it skipped across the line. It's about 30 meters out. So line out here for the Chicago Lions.
Thank you. Let's hold space.
Middle of the lineout they go. Kinnevo, one of their key lineout runners, obviously looked at the little wraparound there for Dragoning, but Goodwin's going to hang on to it. Referee telling the players to get off of that ball, so another penalty against the St. Louis Bombers. Double blast of the whistle. We will listen in to the referee captain conversation.
That's too many by your team, and that's too many by 8. Bring 8 here, please. Yeah, no, it's good. It's a personal. There's no clear release to the tackle. I got it. It's 10 minutes for 8.
You think Magnaggy's going to go up? Any politics got the exact same steal.
Just be cautious now. Yep.
Got the exact same
Wesley White is going to spend 10 minutes in the bin. Referee not listening to what he has to say there. No clear release. Too many penalties. Somebody's going to spend 10 minutes. Ball in Dragoning's hands. They're going to go for the post again. Try to rack up these points.
I think that was just so many penalties, too many caught in this area. I mean, this is the third penalty it seemed like we've had from this particular pitcher in the first 22 minutes of this match. And they took the man with the silky hands off the field with a yellow from behind the back to on the sideline watching. Is a crazy trajectory.
Slight wind here at the Chicago Blaze facility. No problem there for Dragoning. Jack Dragoning puts in another 3 points, 13-5. Just chipping away at the scoreboard are the Chicago Lions at the moment.
And you know how demoralizing it is to know that you're forced to be so disciplined when you're inside your own 10-meter line defensively. Any penalty, any long arm penalty, and it's 3 points. And just like that, the Lions going for 3 penalties and getting 2 changes everything about this matchup.
Ball kick taken down by the Lions. Been good on the restarts. Demendel. Jack Morgan again. Those little kicks finding that space, looking for Wall, finds him. Wall gets that one back inside. It's a race. It's not going to be won by John Dupree, however. Sam Evans gets back, makes a big saving tackle. Scrambling to get in their defensive shape are the St. Louis Bombers. Looking to take advantages are the Chicago Lions, but slowed down just a bit. Everything even. Dragoning goes to a pod in the middle of the field. Player runs back in. Going to come back to the short side. Ball to Steele. Jeff Steele gets past a couple. Wide pass out to the wing to Wall. Can't quite handle it. Slips in a touch. The ball here for the Bombers. Don't know if it's a choice scrum or lineout or if it's scrum option taken there, Lance. He was knocked into touch, so players get a choice.
And goodness, another kick, another break, another opportunity from the Lions off the leg. Easily gathered, and this time there's help for the Wall. Inside pass is there, and this right here is one of the turning points of the match. If that try goes in, everything changes. But great defense getting back, making the tackle on that edge. Sam Evans giving his team an opportunity defensively, and they found to get the ball back.
Gus Sokol came in to clean that one off. I think when he looks back at the film, he's going to see he had a pretty clear left-hand side of that ruck. Could have picked and gone, but he's on the field in the heat of battle. I'm up here in a nice broadcaster's booth. A little easier for me to say. Ball comes across to the Bombers. They're about 10 meters out from their own line. Nearly blocked there by Joey O'Brien. Goes in a touch, be another Lions line out. I think through Dragoning, this Lions team, Lance, is really just controlling the way this game is being played.
Every time the ball hits the boot, there's great opportunity for the Lions. He seems to put so much confusion into the St. Louis side. Defending that 50-22 is so important. But it's that spot underneath, that shallow spot underneath that's so vulnerable, and Lions are taking absolute advantage of it.
Over the top they go. It's in Jeff Steele's hand. He's rumbling. Gets the ball away to his number 8, Kinnevo. Kinnevo. Lions nearly get away with it. A player came in from an angle to clean that out. It was pretty clear. Elias Garza, so penalty for the Bombers deep in their own end.
And that was a great moment for the Lions, unable to stay disciplined in those ruck scenarios. And St. Louis now has a chance to use their boot to give themselves a slight advantage, getting away from their own try line.
Ball in touch, just about 25 meters out, is going to be a line out for the St. Louis Bombers. In their own end, and I want to move this one out if they can. Bombers, Blake Knight to put this one in. Blake Knight up over the top. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, another Lindenwood player. Big tackle still coming from this Lions team. Both teams playing flat on the line here. Quick ball out to that left-hand side. Looking for that flat pass to Hammerschmidt. It doesn't go this time, went forward.
Jake, option, scrum, or throw? The scrum option taken. Thrown forward. Scrum.
And what do you think St. Louis thinking is attacking from where they
Scrum
are?
option.
You think they've been so starved for the ball just a little bit that now they're taking any opportunity where there's any space that they can maximize, they go right for it? Seems like it's a bit against what Chicago's is doing that's leading them to success, using that boot and winning on space and territory.
Yeah, I agree completely here. I thought, St. Louis really wants to run the ball, put on a good show, and score a lot of tries. Chicago Lions playing a little more tactically at the moment, winning the chess game. But it's a chess game with a lot of physicality, so we'll see where it goes for the next 60 minutes. Ball spills. And bounces on the ground. Dangerous stays there, comes down to the Bombers. Manuel Albert comes in over that one. Nice little break there. That's Naringo. Naringo puts in a little pop pass there. Well held in the hands. Declan Reese creating a lot of confusion with the defenders. Didn't know who was his intended target there as Albert goes again. Lions are in and over it. Did they rip it away?
No, the ball's available. Tackled. It's a run
Referee
now.
is saying ball is available. The Bombers, you see the 22 of the Lions there, and put somebody right through the space. Well done, Connor DeVos. Taken away, winds up in Lions' hands. Look like Royale Jones.
Gray. Tackle 3 away.
Trigoning sees some space. You saw the players, defenders there. He had his foot down. As the ball comes out, good run. They're out to the 40-meter line. Wall thought he saw a seam back in. Ball to Trigoning, flat again. Little show, the space opens up. Big break from the Lions, number 4, Joey O'Brien. Big bump now, taken down by Hammerschmidt. Cross they come, little bouncer, but it's going to get out to the intended group of people as Ethan Howard, an offsides against Alberts.
No advantage.
The 13 for St. Louis.
Coming back. 13 black, offside at ruck.
And what a break by O'Brien. The show and go just a little bit quick and slow. Somehow find his way through the line. And Joey doesn't share food. Gobbling bodies, hitting people, bouncing people off, making moves. And I mean, the Lions finding moments to really show up, get themselves away from their own try line, whether it's a kick or whether it's forward crash that leads to a 30-meter break. I mean, the Lions are putting it together. It's whether they can cap everything off and finish.
Yeah, he was a St. John's University 2-time NCR All-American. Joey O'Brien from St. Paul, Minnesota. Personal trainer, so fitness probably not that much of an issue for him. And another Tregoning three-pointer goes through. We'll take a look.
And that dummy right there, giving the space, the step off the right, putting backs on the floor. And again, just you're letting the big man be so big and agile. And it took the biggest player in the back line to stop him. The hammer had to step up and stop Joey from running the length of the field. But still, even when the ball hits the ground, the Lions finding great opportunity, great go forward.
16-5 now. Ball again. Restarts been going to the same pretty much exact plays for the Bombers and have been taken well by the Lions each time. Tregoning finds a runner. Kinivo. He's going to take that one to the ground. Driven back inside of his 22. Tregoning off the left boot, scanning that field, goes with a low driving kick. He has put up just about every kind of kick there is so far this game. As the Bombers look to return that.
Open play.
Lions player rolled off there, nearly took it away. Big Sean Carradine comes in, manufacturing engineer out of St. Louis. Pick and go. Referee with a little help from the Lions spots it diving over
No, you went
against
straight over.
the Bombers. It's on Connor Devos.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and it was clear diving over. It was clear. And with the yellow card coming back,
Number 3, off feet. There's your mark right there, please.
Chicago now find themselves even, Steven. Had a bit of a power play going for a bit of time. With that ended, let's see if they can continue this forward rush that they've had.
Wesley White, a key player for him. Ball down to the 22. Lions line out. They've had a lot of time in this territory. There's about 7.5 minutes to go on the game clock in this first half. Division I championship of the Midwest up for grabs. 5-player lineout. They go to the middle to Kinivo. It's worked a couple times. Quick off the top. Big hard run coming right there from John Dupree. Sets up that starter play. Players have to dive for it. Little pop around. Well, Jones was coming around the side there. Might have been an intended hidden runner. Can't get to that one. Ball comes up to Toriumi. Demendals. Tregoning. Ball slips in behind him. Well recovered there from Willis Goodwin. Does the hard work. Jeff Steele. There's Joey O'Brien. We've seen what he can do in the loose. There he is a little bit tight, just taking a couple of players with him. Little chip through. Here come the Lions. Rael Jones. Can he get there? It just slips in a touch. 1 meter out from the line. Well done. Great kick. Looked like Lockie McDonald put that one in.
And again, which club do we pull out the bag? We've seen the 9-iron, we've seen the driver, we've seen the wedge, every kind of kick you can imagine. We've seen every kind of draw. We've seen they're pulling everything out and really putting pressure on the St. Louis side.
Just a big old Irish up and under is the only one I think I haven't seen yet from the Lions, but they got plenty of time.
Tackle, fine. Tackle, good.
Line out for the Bombers right at their own 5-meter line, so have to work their way out of here. Felton calling in some additional players. Pressure again from Sokol. Peyton Wall looking to go quick. We'll probably put the hands right into a Bombers player's hand, so smart choice there. We'll go to the line out here for the Chicago Lions. Ball in Ethan Howard's hands.
Say that one more time.
And I mean, right outside the 22.
Yes, thank you.
This is one of the moments where they set themselves up for everything they've been doing so far. Do they go wide? Do they keep it near the forwards and around the forwards? There's so many options.
Ball skips up and over, but back into the hands. Well taken there by Toriumi. Jeff Steele offloads that one to Kinivo. Ball went backwards off of a St. Louis player, seemingly.
Tackles.
So right there, Knight has to get himself out of the try zone. Big run coming. Made 5 meters. Look into the boot.
Everyone's on.
Not the prettiest of kicks, but it comes down into Lions' hands. Elias Garza has it. Play very broken here. We'll see if this continues, so they have to get it back to a little structure. There goes Wall.
Fine. Step, please. It's available.
Ball up there. Jeff Steele again. He's right near the line. Demendolks goes wider. Trigoning looking for a runner around the back. Couple of quick hands there, and the AIC's Royale Jones from Jersey City, New Jersey, from Hudson Catholic High School, scores 5 points here for the Chicago Lions team.
Yes. Hey, Eddie, is it 5?
And what's the best way to eat a burger? With Royale with cheese on top. Everybody getting their hands on it. Soft hands all the way to the edge. And the big hit-ups in the middle of the field, taking advantage of that unfortunate kick that found itself, instead of going down the touchline, sniping towards the middle of the field.
You're on your line.
And man, it just created so many problems for the St. Louis side defensively. They were outstretched, unprepared for what was happening, and the Lions, hands on demand, gets themselves 5 on the edge.
And just great soft hands to get that ball out there. So well done by this Lions team. Trigoning, ball slips off. He doesn't have too much time here. Has the distance again. Does not have it, but they're 21-5 with a couple minutes to go in the first half. Looking strong here are the Chicago Lions.
And it looks like even when they have the opportunity and they squander it, another one presents itself even better, right? Great kick to get them down the touchline that set everything up here. Able to get a line out, a couple unfortunate hands, and St. Louis is almost on the break on the near side again. It's just such a back and forth battle, but Lions are finding the moments to get tries.
Reese Smith gets us started off to that left-hand side of theirs. Kinevo banks through one, nearly looked to get that away. Thought about the offload, but they're going to play it to Trigonin, going to back for a penalty.
No, I gave it the wrong way. I apologize. You're on the wrong side of the tackle when you join to the ruck. You can't be there.
Against Howard. He was looking for the offload, so it was a little bit of a tough luck there for him.
Okay.
A penalty here late in the first half for the Bombers, and they could use some points.
You got a minute. It's tackle entry and on the wrong side of the ruck.
Yeah, I see what happened. Trying to position himself back on the right side. A player from St. Louis from their wrong side impeded him from getting his hips all the way around.
Yeah, he was looking to get an offload here, right?
Nothing there. He gets his hip back, but gets blocked there, so it looks like he's rucking multiple people. When really he was still putting himself in position and got long arm penalty for it. Tough break, but it happens.
That's how it happens. Taking a scrum here are the St. Louis Bombers. Referee said there's about a minute to go in this half. Wind picking up here.
Free kick, Black.
Free kick for the Bombers. Bombers, can they put some points on the board before half? Would be important for them. Little pass around the back. Another offload. Looking for the fancy stuff at the line, into touch. Great work, Chicago Lions. Referee's watch goes off. That's the end of the first half, 21-5. Chicago Lions lead the St. Louis Bombers. We're going to step away for a few minutes. Be back with second half action after this.
Yeah, but he's on the edge. Yep. And when he's playing on the edge, it's going to be yellow or worse. Yeah, so the message, right? Yeah, that's the message.
on the other side.
Players speaking out for 5 grade,
just wanna get down with you. Listen, I can call you mine. Once more than I swear we are through. We should still have fun, though we say we're done. 'Cause I just wanna get down with you. Listen, I can call you mine. Once more than I swear we are through.
Welcome back. We are underway here. 21-5. The second half begins. Chicago Lions in the lead. Running from the left to right on your screen. Royale Jones just scored a try at the end of the first. Lions looking strong. Kennyvo looking for some runners. Does he need them? Eventually getting tackled. Leaves a player in his wake there. And Blake Knight a little slow to get up. Starting off the second half well are the Chicago Lions. Sean Broker with Great American Rugby. Great American Lance Kavanaugh bringing you this second half action. First mistake of the game from that man right there, Jack Tregoning. He's been the chess master. Drops that ball to be a scrum outside their 22 for the St. Louis Bombers.
And that's the first drop he's had that hasn't been of perfection. Off the boot, he has been really controlling this game, and it looks like the Lions were going to blast off starting off this second half, going right back to what they were doing when the first half ended. Running strong lines forward, really causing chaos for St. Louis, but able to bend but not break, and now the Bombers pretty much in the same position they've been in all game on their own side of the field defensively, having to clear their lines.
Ball coming here from Felton. Good squeeze coming on, but that one winds up pretty even.
You're taken in.
Felton, ball has been taken in according to the referee. So Connor Burns launches it downfield. Inside the 22, Lions on the way back. Nearly slicing through one of the backfield players for the Lions. Lions ball ripped away by the Bombers. Defensive play. Not sure if that was intentional, but it wound up great for them. Felton comes on in, gets up all to Albert. Albert out the back, looking for the runner. Declan Reese took it flat-footed, but now they're on the run. Bombers are a dangerous team, 21-5. Not insurmountable for them by any means. That one gets dropped. Could be a scrum for the Chicago Lions.
That steal was something we need to watch over and over again. Defending two players. He defended a layer of attack. Took the second guy who got passed out of the back and not only made the tackle, but took the ball away. Played both players and able to take the ball away before the tackle is finished. What an amazing bit of play from this Bomber side. Those are defensive moments they need more of.
Devin Doles to put this one in from Seattle, Washington. Penalty drawn by the Lions. Players driving illegally for the Bombers. Penalty here, and Tregoning will step up.
I think there's a bit of this that's also something that we haven't spoken of, and I think it's something we can bring up. Feeks, who's been their leader of sorts on the 7th and 15th side, isn't playing in this championship match. I'm not sure of the circumstances, but when he's usually here orchestrating and controlling what St. Louis is doing, now he is not. And who knows his effect defensively, leading these set-piece charges. We can see it's been having an effect on St. Louis this match.
Yeah, Feeks, a big loss for that team. They are full of very good players. Feeks, wonderful human, too. Ball out to the middle of the field. Look at the wraparound. Going to hang on to the ball there is Goodwin. Demendolks has the runners. Gets it to Kennyvo. Players queuing up. See Demendolks calling for people to come around the other side. They're going to stay in this. Elias Garza Gonna have a show of the ball. Opens up a little space for him. Tregoning flat on the line as usual. Gets the ball out into the hands of McDonald. There's the 22. Steele puts one up, winds up in the hands of the Bombers. Went forward, so there's a scrum advantage here. Stephen Alberts takes it. Steph Alberts gets to the ground. They go off for the kick. Use that territory. This could have been a halftime conversation of theirs as well. After they saw the effect it was having for the Lions, they really need to play in that end of the field. Ball still alive. Big runner coming with that. Reese Smith gets that ball away. That one slips to the ground. It's penalty, a scrum advantage here, taken by the Lions, right at their own 40-meter line. Demendolks. Passes coming out the back here. Players not quite on the run yet, but now they are. Good work to get at that wing, and here comes Royale Jones. What can Royale Jones makes happen? Bounces off of one, trying to get through another. Did that player come in illegally? Ethan Howard, referee's fine with it. Tregoning takes this one on his own, but more of a distributor, and you can see why. Penalized and not releasing right away.
And let's just take a second to breathe just a bit. I mean, back and forth from one end of the field to the other, from one side of the pitch to the other. Royal Recheese making a big splash on the touchline. And just as immediately, hands up, tackler assist. It looks like the tackler is out of the way. Clear hands on the ball. Ball carrier not releasing. Referee right on top of it. Position is perfect. And bend but don't break, says St. Louis yet again.
And my little mistake there was Gus Sokol that took that one in the second row. Don't know how I mistook a second row for a fly half. Fly half be happy. Second row not so much. As the penalty kick gets pushed downfield. Be a line out for the St. Louis Bombers.
You got about 60 seconds.
Just waiting for a rugby ball.
Okay.
Pesky rugby ball at a rugby game. Can't find it when you need one, right?
At a rugby facility. There it is. They're ready to go.
Yes, absolutely.
Blake Knight steps up.
Yes, thank you.
St. Louis University High School forwards coach. Lists his job as beer man, so could be one of many things that Blake Knight does.
Beer man, that's it. That's it. Just
that's his occupation. Up to the middle of the line out doesn't work. Over the top, are the Lions going to get this? Yes, they will. Going to have to clean off Wesley White, and they do. About 30 meters out, working with the forwards. Keeping the ball in hand in this second half right now are the Chicago Lions. Driving forward is Sokol. Working the ball out the back there. Tregoning has some runners and some space opens up in the middle of the field. Big bump offs there. Albert eventually rides the player to the ground. Look at this space. Look at the quick ball for the Chicago Lions. Chicago Lions enjoying this passage of play. Can they find the space? Outside just closed down. They're playing rapid ruck rugby right now. Little tip pass there. They can get over this one and get this ball quick again. But the Bombers making it difficult. And in
There must be a clear release.
an effort of making things difficult, Naringo doesn't release. Going to be a penalty here against the Bombers.
and that was as easy, straightforward as a not releasing as you've seen. He was in fact a tackler assist and didn't get his hands clear or show the ref he's no longer engaged. And I mean, the penalties and situations are mounting. I'm surprised that the Lions didn't go for the 3 points as they elected in the first half on multiple occasions. But I believe the Lions have a bit of confidence that that's starting to really come alive the same way it did at the end of that first half. I mean, the tackle is there. Left hand stays attached and goes straight for the ball. No real attempt to separate, and the referee is right on top of it.
It's a knock on by Black coming through. Knock on by Black coming through.
So at the ensuing lineout, going to be a scrum off a knock on by the Bombers.
Sorry, watch out.
Little discussion there between Kinnivo and Demendolks. Tregoning deciding what they want to do, their strategy will be from here. 21-5, 9 minutes gone in this second half. Midwest Rugby Union Division I Championship at the Chicago Blaze Rugby facility. They go to the middle of the lineout. They've got options everywhere. Tregoning snuck out, another player snuck in. He's held up right now. Got to get his feet to the ground. The referee calls maul here. Tackle it is. Players from the Bombers are going to have to release this. It's going to come back and make it a scrum. The Bombers players thought that took a little long. But nonetheless, going to be a scrum here for the Chicago Lions.
Really want to hear what the sir say as to why it's back to the Lions ball, but multiple defenders. We're talking 4 players being able to get a hand on him before he gets anywhere near the try line. And that maul is pretty much pushed into and near the threshold of the try line.
I think Wall just got his knee to the ground a little bit before that. If you saw, just when he started talking, Lance, I saw his knee kind of graze the ground. So good play by Wall to get his knee down, so preventing it from being a maul, because that would have been held up. Scrum has come up. We're going to have another set here.
Right here.
Good scrum, Bombers, good scrum. Same again, Davos. Same again, Cody.
Stay down throughout. Don't pop up. Mind your foot timing. Keep it straight. Let's go, boys. Come on. You know what to do.
And JB, this is about as closest to, now or never time for St. Louis as we've had. 30 minutes left and down on your own try line. This is scary moments for St. Louis.
Another try would make this difficult. Referee's going to penalize Chicago. Good work there by the front row for the Bombers to force that issue.
Number 1.
Chase!
Keep it up.
Connor Burns going to put this one downfield. Will he find touch? He does. Break ground 40 meters out. Be a line out for the Bombers.
And, there's been a sub of the friend of the broadcast. Jeff Steele subbed out for the Lions. He's no longer the front rower. And immediately when I noticed it, they give up a penalty. So, not to say there's correlation between the two, but good shift by Jeff Steele. And St. Louis showing that they're in for the fight, getting from the brink of near elimination now with an attacking opportunity.
Ball goes up. Chris Schumann, Shuey in the lineup now for the Bombers. Took that one down. Give an advantage here. Look like no wrap tackle. Emmanuel Albert. And just stupid play by John Dupree.
So it's a penalty against you for offside. So the mark is either there or the mark is here. It's penalty against you. Back 10 meters, please. Yep. Offside. The ruck was formed. Offside. Options, Eddie. Penalty here or penalty there. Yep. Here you go.
Choice of penalties for the Bombers.
6. No arms in the tackle. Be very cautious. Thank you.
Connor Burns will step again. 2 penalties have moved this Bombers team about 80 meters downfield. Better opportunity for them. We're down 21-5. Points are required.
And, you see the referee took a half a second figuring out before he blew the whistle, like, am I watching what I think I am? Did he run from the other side to pick the ball up near the ruck? Good control by the sir this match. He's been doing a good job with the pace.
Yeah, he's very clear.
Well.
Blake Knight ball in hand. You see Sean Carradine at the back. Players lining in where they're going to go to the front. Ball slips off, and
What is he
for some
doing?
reason, volleyball
First
forward
by Gray, Black, then by Gray.
by Alex Verden.
First by Black, then by Gray.
You know, now I'm double confused. Now the ref was confused before, but here, clear knock on, but you know, the
Knock
tips
on the
to
line
keep
out
the
there
ball
by
in.
St. Louis, yeah.
And then the Lions player volleyballing it forward, getting it back over the net is it's quite a new thing to see. But I think he was just trying to kill the play. I think that was him just trying to kill the play and get to a scrum. He's a front rower. He wanted to scrum. He wanted redemption for that earlier penalty. That's what that was.
He's going to get his wish. He's not going to want a penalty down here.
All right, Dan, we good to go? Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Same again, Davos. Same again, Charity. They're feeling the wind now.
All right, boys. Hookers here, please. Time is on. Stability. Last couple scrums, we've lost stability, so stability at bind. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Big pressure coming on from St. Louis, but ball in the hands of Chicago. It's a race here. Was that a high tackle? Referee on the spot, whistles it right away. Peyton Wall, high tackled, Chicago ball.
Hey, we're good, baby. Hey, we're good, Let's go. 6, there's no excuse for you to be over there. Just ignore it. Back up, please. Thank you.
I mean, they found the space on the weak side, but that tackle from first contact was high, neck, chin high. And there was an extra bump right there that forced a few of the St. Louis players to take objection, but he won't even go to the ref to get his yellow card. He'll walk right to his seat. He understands what the mission is. And unfortunately, St. Louis down in points and down in players.
Went to Davenport University, did Sam Evans, a high tackle right there, warranted a yellow card as far as the referee understood. Now you have an unmarked Peyton Wall on that wing. Or Royale Jones, depending on who is on that side at the moment. So 10 minutes without a player, 55 minutes into this game, 25 left. The Lions in control, 21-5. This was a score at half. It's remained so for the last 15 minutes. Ball up, tipped back by Kinnevo. Not straight according to the ref. Didn't know if it was it contested?
It didn't look contested to me, but call is made and we're here.
Long before that rule change, it was a little bit of a sticking point with me.
Yeah, that, you know, from the booth we'll say that should be played on, but ref made a call. You know, he's entitled to a knock
absolutely.
on it. Yeah, he's entitled to a knock on
call,
every so
absolutely.
often.
Absolutely, agreed. I just, you know, like if the other team doesn't contest, it's just in my mind, it's like, just play, man. Let everybody have fun. Speaking of fun, the front rowers get ready to set down once again. To the nice warmth of the front row. Richard Felton has the ball.
Before the match, I said crouch when you're ready. Bind is the next step. Let's do that. All right, first things first. Let's go. Yo. Okay. Bind. Sit.
Ball in from the Bombers. Big pressure this time from the Lions. Bombers going to get that one away.
Everyone done?
High kick into what's turning into a swirling wind here. Well taken by the Chicago Lions. Collision in the middle of the field there. Off they come. Demendolch gets it away. Little chip forward from Lachlan McDonald. Inside the 22. Felton has it. Just pushes out in a touch. It's going to be Lions ball here. Controlling the territory still are the Chicago Lions.
Absolutely, your timing's fine.
And using the boot yet again, the kicks have been on flurry, and that was multiple people getting involved with this. It isn't just being led by the fly half on set piece or trying to clear lines, but now it's on any opportunity to get around the corner, and they've been making the most of them.
Ball up, well taken. Into the middle of the field they go. Replacements on here for both teams. Switching field, well read by Schumann. Lions going to be able to hang on to that one. Penalty against the Lions this time. Bombers have it. So Schumann, second row, can play in the wings. Going to get that ball.
Jakes, that's the second one. Past the tackle. Going past the tackle. Here you go.
Well downfield from the Bombers. Be their line at about 10 meters out. An opportunity to get some more points on the board. First points of the second half, this would be. Playing to a bit of a stalemate here. Go ahead.
Yeah, what a contrast from earlier. On the heels of, on the brink of almost destruction, and now they're on the doorstep of greatness. The boot off of the penalties for St. Louis has been doing such wonders, and if they can get a rolling maul in here, it'll go a long way to their forwards' confidence and what they can produce for the rest.
Ball comes down and working. You see Corey Harmon, the replacement at the back. Driving towards the line.
Yep, thank you.
Ball's going to have to come away. Good job by the Lions to push that towards there, but there's a penalty advantage. Penalty advantage against Dupree. The Lions are going to have to be careful here. Referee unafraid to use cards if it's warranted. Here they go. Big run. It's Wesley White. Wesley White gets to the line, gets over the line. Wesley White touches that one down. The Cape Town native Linden University grad gets 5 points on the board, 21-10. Game changes shape.
And just pay attention to what that ended up being. It was a penalty. He said he wanted the ball. They gave it to WW, and no one's following him. They knew he was going in. There's no support. No one is getting close to him, closing in. They knew this man had it from the moment he touched the ball. Mr. can't be stopped when he's that close.
30 seconds.
And not only does he have the finesse to go behind the back, but he has the strength and determination to run over multiple Lions on his way to that try. And cutting his lead does so much for St. Louis, but it just doesn't seem like their temperament and energy matches what they just accomplished scoring in the second half.
Kick has a distance, curling around towards the post, and it's good. So 21-12. We are at a 9-point game here. The Lions lead.
That is a scary man, Wes White. That's a scary man. I mean, to play for a team like Bath and do the Lions so dirty from what we just saw is quite a bit of irony.
He was quite a player.
And while being shorthanded.
Called some of his games when he's at Lindenwood as well. Exciting player to watch. Ball comes down for the Bombers. They're going to keep playing the territory game, put it in a touch. Going to try to disrupt this line out, I'm sure. But right inside the St. Louis Bombers half, Chicago Lions have an opportunity for some offense here. Referee just using the 50-meter line essentially. So go to the middle there. Doesn't get to who it wants to go to, but Joey O'Brien's going to take that one. Trigoning. Little wraparound pass. They have to go over the top with that one. Get the ball into Goodwin's hands. Goodwin moves that ball away. They're going to go to that kick again. Putting up a bouncer there. Peyton Wall and Royale Jones. Royale Jones just can't quite handle it at the end there. Ball took a little turf bump, bounce. Grass bounce, I should say.
No advantage. Scrum.
And what a grass bounce it took, taking away a perfectly good scoring opportunity. The Lions' boot has been on, and just a shallow bounce. Great pressure by St. Louis, continuing to pursue defensively. But man, opportunities are abundant for the for this Lions side off the boot. And St. Louis is reeling defensively to try to hold shape and preserve their own lead right now.
Hey, let's get this sorted out, yeah? Thank you. First one.
We want to play. We're not slowing it. Now, seconds. Coach! Hold on. What do you say? I'm new to this.
Coach! Bang!
A little laughter in the front row there. Always time for some humor with these players. 63 minutes in. Score there from the Bombers makes this a little different. 9-point game. Ball stuck under the Bombers' feet. Digging it out there is Felton. Going to the territory again. Ball bounces over Royale Jones's head. Is that going to roll all the way through? What a kick, but what an unlucky end to that. They're going to come all the way back to where that was kicked from inside the 22. And it is going to be a scrum for the Lions.
And the ball usually doesn't run that way. It usually doesn't take off that way and continue to get down the field on grass. That's usually a turf issue, right? Where the ball continues to roll with no, signs of slowing down. But unfortunately, St. Louis, that boot has been strong for them when it's time to. And it didn't look like he really stepped into it crazy or put too much into it. But you get the right wind and catch the right bounce, and you're back inside your own 22 again.
Yeah, the wind was going that way, definitely.
Coach! Bang! Sit!
Some power in here for the Bombers in the second half in the front row. So the Lions are going to want to use this ball quick. Kinnevo has it at his feet. Picks up, goes to the right. We're going to penalize. Player coming in illegally there. Kinnevo's going to go. He's got, ooh. I don't know. Thought he had rights to that.
Check.
Nah, that wasn't the spot to take the tap. I think
Check anything on the
speed
outside.
of it and everything was good.
Oh, yeah, yellow card's back on. Yep, anything else? Yes, in a minute. So we've got penalty for number 9 coming around the scrum. Number 9. What's up? Yeah, 21-12. It's 15 minutes.
Kinnevo just doing a check in there on time and score. Referee says about 15 minutes. And it is indeed 21-12. Line out here for the Lions. Ethan Howard. At the front, you see Ivan Delgado. Impact sub here. Both second rows still in with Kinnevo there. Looking for Kinnevo. Gets knocked back down by the Bombers. In their try zone. Comes down into Royale Jones's hands. He puts in the long pass. Good defensive wall coming up here. So well done by Luca Milne. Just to push that one into touch, take some time off the clock. Be a line out for the Bombers.
And so many things just happened in that last little bit. St. Louis able to get the line out, preserve it for themselves, but the kick was made deep inside the try line, and the players at the front of the try zone are technically on sides. So they immediately can rush, and we're able to close out the space there. Great bit of law verbiage to kind of work with, but they did a good job with it.
Ball up, knocked this time by the Chicago Lions. Back to the Bombers. Here's Wesley White. He has got a head of steam and puts the boot to the ball himself. Seems to go straight into touch, however. Line out for the Lions.
Charge down.
Bring it back here. We'll have a line out.
Indeed, it was charged down.
First defender here, please. Thank you. First defender. Thank you. Yes, okay, I'll watch
WW
it.
was
Yep.
flying a little bit. Yeah, he had a little head of steam on him. I thought he was just going to run into somebody.
You can see that wind picking up back there. It's in the Bombers' favor. If you look at the flag, that one sails off. We have a not straight advantage here
It's
for
advantage over.
the Lions. It's over. Wall put that one out. Lucky McDonald.
Fine.
Gets tackled as he's kicking that. Referee says it's fine. There's a 22 of the Bombers right behind you. Have to get to the ground.
First play on. Tackled.
Ripped away by the Chicago Lions.
Leave it black.
Referee telling the Bombers to leave that one. Going to turn into a penalty. Demendolz does a smart thing at this time period and slows it down.
The third man arriving. It's already a ruck.
And JB, tick, 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 tick is the name of the game right now.
Yeah, the time clock is in the favor of the Lions at the moment. They're also down the center of the field. Another 5 points or 3 will do them very good. Up to the middle they go. Ugly.
It's over there. It's over there. It's over there. It's on the 15.
Little salty language there. These Bombers are ready to play and a little frustrated
Everyone's on.
as they hoof that one downfield. Well positioned is Milne. Well run is Milne. The break is there for him. Luca Milne from Meath, Ireland. Went to Concordia University. Canada. Ball comes over cleanly. Or not. Players coming in on an angle there for the Chicago Lions. So Bombers penalty.
Number 4. Entry.
Will this one also bounce through? Royale Jones just watches it. They're going to come all the way back again. The Bombers, that tactic not working for them.
And I mean, you said the win is in the favor of St. Louis. That's 2 times we've seen that being in favor does not mean in favor. The ball going out of the back on kicks.
Minutes, boys.
Scrum here for the Chicago Lions.
Bind! Yeah.
He's just leaning right on me.
Both of you are losing space. Hold your weights, okay?
Let's play. Come. Let's go. Time off for resets. Let's go.
Richard Felton encouraging his team to play.
I'll exit. Yeah.
No matter what they have to do, they want the ball in play. They need to get it back. Scrum resets, take plenty of time off the clock. See 2 good rival number 8s right there. Kenny Vo and Wesley White. Big drive there from the Bombers. Chicago going to want to get that ball out of there as quick as they can, and have done. Lachlan McDonald has been excellent since coming on the field in the first half. Takes that one straight in. Off to that left-hand side they go. Nice run, Kinnivo. Nearly breaks through a couple players, but can't make it happen at the end.
The ball is already available there.
Ball here. Big pick and go from the Chicago Lions. Well tackled. Penalty against, however. Player just couldn't get himself in the right body position there.
11. Holding on.
Connor Burns steps up.
I mean, 10 minutes to go. Down by 9. You have the ball on your green side of the 50. I mean, these are the moments that make and break your season. Obviously, it's a championship game. Win or go
They're
home.
coming up.
But, man, what a moment for St. Louis to be able to find a way to get points on the board right now would mean so much.
Line out does not go the way of the Lions, so the Bombers have an opportunity getting that ball wide. Forwards in the middle of the field. Big defense coming from the Lions.
Tackled!
Eventually get over to the ground. Big tackle again. The Lions want this last 10 minutes. They're ready to play as much defense as they have to. Felton Just put that one downfield, and it rolls again. Did it touch the foot of the Chicago player? No matter, because it touched the post there. So they're deep inside their own zone. Pressure's on. Good kick.
Keep going backwards.
Touch.
Keep going
And
backwards.
they do not find touch. It is in the hands of Connor Burns. That was fascinating to see a ball just sit on the ground that long. As Wesley White picks it up. Wesley White gets rid of one player. Royale Jones gets in on the tackle. Adam Weaver gets it. Felton looking for runners. Gets it to Akbar Usmanov. Wesley White again. Wesley White near the touchline. Gets up all the way. Schumann has it. At the line, near the line. Schumann is over. We have a game on our hands. 8 minutes to go. They put a try on the board. 17.
And begins the war of attrition. Lions able to hold a lead, but WW has been waiting for his moment. Behind the back pass for an assist earlier, and now the wraparound pass to add points when his team needed the most. Whenever they needed a moment or it was time for St. Louis to do something special, WW was right there for it and continues to put on for the squad as the reservist from St. Louis, Chris Schumann, gets those points for his side. And I mean, now it's a one-punch game, JB. That changes everything.
Yes. Conversion is good, so we're 21-19, 2 points in it. 7 minutes on the game clock. So a penalty kick would win this for the Bombers. Referee's called time off.
6 minutes.
Let us know there's 6 minutes to go. Tense 6 minutes here. Is there enough in the tank for the Lions to take control of this just a little bit more?
Time's off.
I mean, this is parallels to last year, JB. Lions had a great opportunity at the end of the match. Couldn't hold, serve, and keep what they had, and unfortunately lost to the Griffins. Now on the doorstep of a Midwest championship, up big time with less than 30 minutes to go. Now find themselves up marginally with less than 6 minutes to go.
Time's done.
Jack Tregoning hasn't featured in the second half as much as he did in the first, just a fact for the play, but put the nice long kick in there. Fielded by the Bombers. They're using this wind. Put it in a touch, get it across halfway. So they're in the Lions end of the field. Lions line out here. Going to have to be precise.
TRADESMEN, thank you.
Call coming in here from the Lions. Where will they go? Going to go to Kinnevaux. Well taken. Lions ball. See if they go to this boot of Tregoning here. Tregoning there to keep that ball in hand. Little footwork there. Dangerous days. Ivan Delgado. White in and over that one. Is he going to be able to pull the penalty? He is indeed. Wesley White just bided his time, turned that one over. Opportunity here for the Bombers. Is this a kickable penalty with the wind?
Post, please.
Tackle is made. Assist is out the way. He's there before the ruck is formed with players on the ground. Great call by the sir. And WW does it again. Shows up for his side when they need him the most. Putting on quite a showcase today in this Midwest Championship.
In the second half, particularly. So we have the kick coming here from Connor Burns. Connor Burns from Reading, England. Went to Lindenwood University. Has the wind at his back. This would put the Lions behind by 1 point. The Bombers lead 22-21 with under 5 minutes to go. Critical kick here for Burns. Lines it up. Certainly has the distance. And he has the accuracy. It is a lead here for the St. Louis Bombers.
Tie game.
1 point. But remember,
3.5
this
minutes.
still holds. A penalty kick would win it or put the Lions ahead. Exciting last couple of minutes coming here, Lance.
I said it was going to come down to
22-21.
kicks. It's come down to kicks. It's come down to short moments where the Lions have to find a way to figure things out as the Bombers have clawed back and taken the lead.
Long kick into touch. Line out 4 minutes to go here for the Chicago Lions. 3 minutes, says the referee. They need to force their way down into this half through the line. Critical moments, can't make mistakes.
I'll take the gear. I'll take the air.
With this win, the first thing to do is get this throw right, and they do. That one comes down. They are good to go. A little sneak there from Kevin Lydon, the replacement impact scrum half. There's the 50-meter line. They need to be in a little closer, and a mistake and a penalty there. Ball winds up into Julian DiGiovanni's hands. Black scrum advantage. Felton has it. Going to play this one tight for a couple of minutes. Chicago will be desperately looking for a turnover here. Advantage is game. Good to go. 2 minutes to go in the game. Emmanuel Albert takes that one in. This is basically the rugby 2-minute drill, just giving it very, very tight. Players up again. Adam Weaver. Dupree can't get in there.
Use it.
Ball up to Corey Harmon.
I will tell you at 1 minute.
1 minute left to go. Can they continue this for 1 minute?
Dynamic. Use it.
Ball is up. Players are going to take a knee there. Looking to wind off this clock. Dupree's in there, hands in. Does he have this penalty? Players have driven him away.
You've got the ball. Let's go.
Richard Felton.
Talk to me.
Harmon
Offside.
again.
Tackled.
Lions looking for one more opportunity here, but not getting it. Good tight work here from the Bombers.
I will tell you at 1 minute.
There's more than 1 minute left. Referee said he'd tell them at a minute. Is that an extra roll? It was indeed. Chicago Lions at the 50-meter line. One more opportunity. Player didn't release, Lance. The excitement has not ended.
1 minute.
It looked like they just went diving down. They're so in a rush to ruck over. And I think all the Lions fell away from it. It didn't become a part of it. One guy didn't have any contact with anybody and fell right on top of the ruck. Referee is on top of it right there.
They're going to run this ball. Our Chicago Lions are inside the 40. If they can draw a penalty, they have a good kicker in Tregoning. Tregoning has to hang on to that one. Gets it to a player in the middle of the field. Does he have a drop goal in him, the Welsh fly half? Driven forward, have to get to the ground. Have done. Good work. Lydon gets it up into the hands of Delgado. Players in and over for St. Louis this time.
Tackle. The
Last play. Joey O'Brien has the ball. Went on a big run earlier.
left foot outside.
Can they get the try or draw a penalty? Tregoning takes that one in. Has to hold. Wait for some teammates to get there. Their ball clean. Lachlan McDonald has it. Exciting end to this Midwest Rugby D1 Championship. Everything to play for right here.
Careful.
Little tip pass there. So well done. Ethan Howard goes forward. They're working their way down there. Lydon has it. Back in they come. Little pick and go. Players trying to drag them back
Ball's available.
for the Bombers. Ball's alive, though, inching their way forward. Chicago Lions.
Tackled. Left foot. Left foot.
Looking for more players here. Get it up to Ethan Howard. He made one of the critical runs in this phase of play here.
10 roll.
Can they make it to that line? They're about 7 meters out. Joey O'Brien. Joey O'Brien is tackled. Referee telling the Bombers players to get away. Back in the other direction, trying to run some of the big boys in still, but good defense holding up. Out a little wider they go. A little wrap around to Delgado. Wall has it. Wall gets to the 5-meter line. Little dummy runs there, just don't quite make it happen. Ball's going to go up to Gus Sokol. Sokol got that one a little high, but he's driving his way forward. Have to make sure not to get held up. This has to be a clean try if they can get over the line for this Lions team. Big run coming, defense on. Emmanuel Albert makes the critical hit. Roll up, little tap there. That's the hooker. That is Ethan Howard. That is 5 points. That is your D1 champion right there. Kick to come. But what a phase of play, Lance Kavanaugh. Let's take a look.
All it took was patience. Everyone locked into the core mission, ball security,
50
ball
seconds if you
control, and they made a point to keep positive leg drive, and when the tips was there, it was there for the Midwest Championship Chicago Lions from the brink of disaster to the D1 semifinals in a blink of an eye. What an amazing match, JB.
That kick was good, and that's the end of our game. Chicago Lions are your men's Division I Midwest Rugby Union champions for 2025. As everybody moves into the USA playoffs, what a finish. Lance, final thoughts?
That's how you end the game. That's how you stamp your claim as the Midwest champions. Chicago Lions giving up a big lead. A St. Louis side had no quit, would never give up, took the lead back with short time, and one mistake is all it took. And the Lions, without losing the ball, staying together, sticking together, worked the ball down the field and scored the try to win the Midwest Championship for Division I. What an amazing ending, JB. We couldn't ask for a better ending. And the Midwest never disappoints, yet again. Just like last year, year before, these teams show up for this Midwest Championship and ball out. Good season on St. Louis, but congratulations to the Chicago Lions. And a big shout out, congratulations to Jeff Steele, making it to the national semifinal.
They are moving on. What a game there. That's it for us. For everybody, the Midwest Rugby Union, thank you so much for putting on this great event. All the teams, all the competitors, everybody at Next Level Rugby. Ryan, the man with the rugby plan, Ginty, and Mike Baker taking the controls. That is Lance Kavanaugh. I worked with Darian Lovelace earlier. I am John Broker. We hope you enjoy the rest of your great day.